Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. Hey, y'all, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, a.k.a. Jeff Releford, the host of the Jeff Releford Show. Hey, man, how's everybody's Monday today? Come on, y'all. Let me know how your Monday is today. I'm going to be very honest with you all. My Monday has been great. It has been great starting off. It's because, what I'm realizing, man, just as I go through life, I've always known this already, always known it. But a lot of times what you have to do is you have to come back to remembering those things that are always great. People never be too high and mighty of yourself that you can't humble yourself to look at the good things that always go on in your life. That's what I encourage y'all to do, man. Look at the good things. And I'll tell you, my day in particular has been a great day because I've chosen to make it that way. So I'm hoping when you're getting off from work today, or if you're just sitting at home listening to us, that you have also chosen to make it a great day for you today. Because I'm telling you, people, there's a lot of stuff we can go through in this life, but shift your mindset a little bit. Pay attention to all the good that's around. So now that I got that out the way, oh man, and like I said, it's been a great day, people. So we're going to move right into the announcements, people. We always got to move into the things that we must cover. We have to cover these things to make sure that y'all are on the right path here, okay? So y'all know it's Monday. Come on, man. Y'all know it's Monday. It's Biggs Radio Monday Night Motivation. Can I get a ooh? Can I get a ooh? Okay, I can do it. I'm sorry. My voice is out. It's a little raspy and it ain't catching. Maybe I need some tea. But once again, y'all, this is Biggs Radio Monday Night Motivation. It consists of myself from 5 to 6 p.m. and Mixtape Monday with Julian St. Chris, man. Julian be playing that music, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but Julian be playing that music. See, y'all listen to Mixtape Monday with Julian St. Chris from 6 to 8. Great personality you are. And we also have none other than Miss Dinah Lynn Biggs herself, the host of the Dinah Lynn Biggs Show from 8 to 10. So y'all know what I say every week. We have y'all from the moment you get off work, from the moment you rest your head. So come on, y'all. Let Dinah Lynn Biggs go ahead and start to tuck you in a little bit. I don't know if we have any late night sleepers in the house, but go ahead, let Dinah Lynn go ahead and tuck you in. What good one? Maybe she could play some Fire and Desire for you. I don't know if my people listening on the other end, y'all know what that Fire and Desire is. That Tina Marie and oh my gosh, that man's name. I cannot remember. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Somebody remember his name, but y'all know who it is, people. Yeah, y'all know who it is. But go ahead, play that Fire and Desire for him. Put him to sleep, Dinah Lynn. But yes, this is Monday Night Motivation with myself from 5 to 6, Julian St. Chris from 6 to 8, and Dinah Lynn Biggs from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So y'all see it on the bottom, people. Also, go ahead and give us a call if you want ad space opportunities. Okay. If you want any ad space opportunities to be featured on Biggs Radio Chicago, go ahead and give us a call. And that number, people, okay, that number is as follows. It is 773-462-4447. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. 773-462-4447. I accidentally put another 4 in there. But y'all check out Biggs Radio Chicago, voice of a new generation on BiggsRadio.com. Come on, man. Go to BiggsRadio.com where you can see everything that Biggs Radio Network has to offer. So y'all go ahead, check us out. Come on, man. We got great things coming, and we are always doing great things here on Biggs Radio. Okay? Oh, and also, I have to let y'all know where I'm coming from, people. The Vibe Studios. This is a studio that me and my people have set up. It consists of V&O, What You Know, Ron Reed, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, myself, Jeff Releford, who is Smooch Wallace. If you don't know Smooch Wallace, get to know him, okay? And Mary Selena K of Rock Truth Radio. We are The Vibe. So if you need help with any of your production needs as far as taping your podcast or your particular radio show and you would like to go live, we have resources here that we could do that for you. So please hit us up. And shout out to my people at Dope Living TV Live. Y'all know y'all my family, man. Gina Gatson, Greg Gray, Maurice Bishop, and Marcella Amos. Big ups to my people, my first family of entertainment and podcast, and I always love y'all dearly. And shout out to my boys at Shop Talk 7, Media Monics, and D Smith period. Y'all go ahead. Y'all holler at Dennis, man, and Anthony Terrell Monix. I'm sorry I put your whole government name out there, big dog. But I give y'all credit where credit is due. Y'all have done something amazing with Shop Talk 7 with how you all running and everything. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Hey, I just show support and give the credit where the credit is due. These people, they go ahead, they hook me up, they help me out, they send some people my way. So you know what? We got to show all y'all some love, man. So, and I know there's many other people too that have helped me along the way, that have done certain things or that I've bumped into. But if I didn't mention you, just know that you are on my mind and I love you. Okay, you are on my mind and I love you. But I want to give these couple shout outs for the day. Oh, and R&D discount distributors as well. Holler at them. R&D discount distributors. Please do holler at them. Please holler at them. Anything that you see on Amazon, what you do is you shoot them, okay? You shoot them what you want, and they will get it for you. So R&D distributors, shout out to my people on that front. And yeah, so we are done with the shout outs, everybody. We done with throwing it down. We are done with the shout outs. I guess I've let everything come out that needs to come out. And, you know, man, I was really thinking about what I wanted to talk about today in particular. With talk radio, it is talk radio. So I must come up with some, situations, scenarios, or some subjects to talk about. So what I was thinking about today in particular, I was sitting at the house and I said to myself, man, Jeff, you have had some great influences around you, right? You have had some great influences around you. So boom, y'all see it on the bottom of the screen, people. And I'm going to read it off for the people. It says, what type of influences do you have around you? And how do they affect you? It's a good question, everybody. Y'all know how it goes with me. With me being a life coach, I have to make you think a little bit different, place a little bit of thought process on your mind. So what types of influences do you have around you? And how do they actually influence you, impact you, or affect you? I'll tell you why this is a great question to ask yourself. It's a great question to ask yourself because we live in a society, in a world where we're forever changing, right? We're forever changing. And since we're forever changing, right, it's okay to take inventory of the people that you are around. You always want to make sure that if anything, it's not up to people to elevate you, but you want to make sure you're around people that help you move and always want to help you move to help generate your upward mobility. This can be on the job. This can be with projects that you do or just within self. Have you ever taken a look at somebody that you were connected to and you see how they're moving, and then that motivates and inspires you to make a move as well? That's what I'm saying, people. So ask yourself the question today. What type of influences do I have around me? What type of people, what type of things do I have around me that influence me? I'll tell you one thing. The people that are around me and influence me, I like movers and shakers. I really do. I love movers and shakers. I love it when people have things going on because that always inspires and motivates me. But as I get older and as I start to look at things around me, I ask myself the question, Jeff, what are you doing to move your own needle? You have great influences around you. And now this is how the influences affect me. Okay. So what are you doing to move the needle? Are you actually taking strides? Are you taking steps to be successful? So for me, it's me being successful in things that I do. That's what I look at. It's me being successful in the things that I wish to achieve and accomplish. Okay. I draw strength from my circle, my intermediate circle of people that are moving with me. And you necessarily don't have to be moving with me on the same page, but I love to go ahead and just the people that I shouted out. I love to take a look at them and see how they're moving. And that inspires me to want to move and to do great things too. Uh, I do have a tendency to soak up information like a sponge. My mentor tells me that all the time. I soak up information like a sponge, and you got to watch out because you give me something, I'm an implementer. I am an implementer. And that really changed my life. And I'll tell you how implementing things changed my life by me just watching people. Because I said the difference between myself and the millionaire is the fact that they just acted on what they wanted. They did it. They followed it to completion. Now, the steps can be different, because we all have different paths and different purposes. There we go, purposes that we're all called to do. We're all called to one thing that is a spiritual purpose. Y'all know I believe in God. I say this all the time. So I'm not talking about that part, but what I'm talking about is how you are going to implement effective change. Implement effective change within your purpose. How I do it is I go ahead and as a life coach, I go ahead and I bring certain things to you every week and give you something to think about, how you can end up changing yourself for the better, people. That's what I do. So that's how I'm making my impact on the world. And it pleases me to make that impact on the world. So my influences affect me because I see them moving towards their goals. I'm going to move towards mine as well. But I'm going to watch also. You have to learn from the people that influence you. You have to. If you are not willing to learn from the people that influence you, if you're not willing to learn from that, it's gonna be kind of tough, people. It's gonna be kind of tough for you. Now, there are a lot of self-made people who implemented new and great ideas. But when you look at the behind the scenes, they had to learn from someone. Everybody always has somebody they emulate. They always have somebody that they wish to follow in a sense. Does that make sense, people? They want to follow somebody. So because that person has mapped out and laid out a blueprint. And since that blueprint has been mapped out, you're going to follow you'll start off on the same path, but you'll put your own individual spin on it. So the goal is to go up, right? The goal is to go up. The goal is to elevate. But sometimes everybody's path is different. It's always not a straight path up. I can look up straight, but it's always not a straight path up to your success. You may have to go left a little bit. You may have to go right a little bit. Shoot, you might even get bogged back down. Honestly, you might even get bogged back down. And that's something really to look at and to pay attention to. You got to consider those things. So the influences, man, what type of influences do you have around you? Now, when you ask yourself that question, also look at positive and negative. Now, you all will hear me reference positive and negative a lot of times with different things that are going on in this world. Because let's be honest, people, a lot of times we are in a world where we have to assess positivity and negativity. We have to assess it. That's our way to growth. And also, when we're assessing positive and negative, we have to pay attention to peace also. Have to pay attention to peace. Remember, I did that show a couple weeks ago about peace and what brings your peace and how does it affect you? What are you doing to really focus on peace? These are what your influences can bring out of you. You don't want to have influences around you that breed chaos or breed wild and treacherous behavior. Yeah, y'all really got that out of me, that life coaching. Wild and treacherous behavior. You don't want to be around people that are going to go ahead and do that for you. Because you have to remember, man, life is a whole big balancing act. You know, every day everybody gets up and they walk the tightrope, right? They walk the rope, they walk the line, and we try to do everything we can to keep our individual and personal balance. And I think it's a great thing to do inventory on our influences around us. So that way we can pay attention to the things that positively and negatively affect us. And it's okay to admit those things, you know. And I always say, as I've gotten older, you know, I've been working on myself ever since I was in my mid-20s. You know, I've always said to myself, Jeff, you want to go ahead and make sure you have good influences, good people around you. You always want to take an opportunity to learn everything. Now, I do have a tendency sometimes, because I am a doer and an implementer, I will jump into things. But when I do jump in, I always have a tendency to take something from it. What did I learn from it? If I jumped in it too fast, why did it not work? Or if I jumped in it too fast, why did I get the particular result that I got from what it was that I was trying to implement? You got to ask yourself these questions so you can learn, and always circle back around and look at the influences. Look at the people who helped shape certain things around you and in your life. This can be for different projects, right? Different projects that you have coming up, or just different instances with people that you would like to include in your projects. Because there's always a model and a baseline for everything. I can't stress that enough with people. There is always a model and a baseline. Hear me. Come closer. For my people that are watching, come closer. You know, if I had the phone and I was using Instagram or doing a reel, you know, they have a filter, I believe, to where you just kind of wave your hand and the phone will come closer. I wish I could do that with y'all, but I can't. But come closer, you know, hear me, listen, you know, everybody has always laid a foundation for something. So this is why influences are very important in your life, because with that foundation, that's the roadmap that you are going to follow. You'll have your own individual path. As I stated earlier, you'll have your own individual path to, this could be success, love, joy, peace, whatever it may be in your life. But remember, you are not the first one to lay down the blueprint or the foundation. Success is always characterized by the ones that have come before you. Success is always characterized by the ones that have come before you. And the ones that have come before you are the people that actually influence you to make a better today for yourself and a better tomorrow for your future. Always remember that, people. Always remember that. We like to say at times, you know, if it wasn't for like for instance, my great grandmother and my great grandfather moved from the South. You'll hear my cousin Ron tell this story on his podcast, VNO, Views and Opinions. VNO, what you know. Shout out to the big homie Ron Reed, my cousin there. But my great grandmother and my great grandfather came from the South. I can't remember which state, but I know they came from the South, and they drove up here. They drove up here because my great grandfather wanted a better life for his family. So he went to Gary, Indiana, and he got a job in a steel mill so he can provide for his family. But he was influenced to do that. He saw that it was an influx in the job force, the job market. They knew it was booming. And he said, I don't care if I can't read the signs on the road. I don't care. I'm going to get to Gary. I didn't quite tell it like my cousin. He tells it very great. One day I'm going to have him on so you all can get to know him a little bit and about what he does, because he's doing something real great here. But I tell this story to say this, people. Even though way back when, what did I just say? I said the people who have come before you characterize your foundation. So with them coming before me, if it wasn't for my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother moving up this way, who knows? Maybe the outcome in my life could have been totally different. Oh, I know for a fact it could have been totally different. You know, but he laid down a foundation. Somebody laid down a foundation and a platform and framework for him to find something better for him and his family, right? And all he did was follow the next person. He followed the next person. That's what he did. So that was an influence that positively affected him to want to go up north and work at the steel mill, because what did he see? He was told it was better. So he went to go find and seek the better. Come on now, people. If somebody tells you about the better, are you willing to go find and seek the better? Ooh, we people. Come on now. I knew we was going to be cooking with some type of grease today. Like I told you, I'm going to give you something to think about, because I really sat down and thought about the influences that are in my life truly. And I would heavily advise, if you have a mentor or person that does influence you in a positive way and gets your mind thinking about the steps and the moves that you make, keep them close. There are a couple people that I do speak with. I call and I ask, hey man, what do you think about how I'm moving? Tell me what you really think honestly about the different moves that I'm making. And I listen to the constructive criticism from my mentor. I let him know what's going on. And it's crazy because me and him, we think alike. You know what I mean? But that's how it should be. If he's going to be a positive influence, you kind of want to somewhat think alike the person that is positively influencing you in your life. So it's insane because he's watching me like I watch him and I listen to him, but I learn from him and he learns from me. It's a great swap of the minds there. Great swap of the minds. I actually had a great talk with my mentor the other day. And we had great conversation just about the direction and where I'm trying to go and what that looks like and how to navigate these waters of entertainment. Because he's been there before. So what did I say? Those people who have come before you will set the framework for where you're trying to go. They've laid down the foundation. You're going and following down the same path, but the steps just might be a little bit different. So always take the good with you out of it. Always take the good with you. Come on, man. I can't stress it enough, everybody. I can't stress it enough. If you go ahead and take the good with you while you have these positive influences, because we're going to hit on negative influences too, and how negative influences can really affect your life. But I want to start off with the positivity first. Because y'all got to hit a positive. Keep the positive people around you first. Please do. Always strive to want better. Always strive to be better. Never strive to say I'm better than someone, because always remember there's always somebody better than you. And I always have to stay reminded. I remind myself to this constantly, that there are many times when I can say that I have arrived, but I have not arrived yet. I have not arrived because each level of success goes higher and higher for me, right? Each level of success goes higher and higher for me. But doors open up to people that remain humble. Doors open up to people when you continue to try to have some type of consistency, and it's positive consistency. And I credit all of that to the influences, the positive influences that I've had around me for so long. Come on. Gotta have some type of positive influences around you. You have to. You have to. So now we're going to dive into people, the negative. Dum, dum, dum. The negative influences. Now, when we start talking about negative influences, people, these are the influences that aren't building you up. These are the influences that you can't learn anything productive from. These are the influences that, in so many words and instances, that aren't learning and growing. Aren't learning and growing. And I know, once again, people, it's hard to, for some of y'all, you all might think that is harsh, but it's not harsh. I'll tell you why it's not harsh. It's not harsh because at some point in time in your life, you have to look at you and want to take control. See, this is where the life coaching part comes into play, people. This is where the action comes into play. I'm all about that action, baby. All about the action. So at some point in time, you have to look at what's in front of you and you have to take direction from that. And if it's going to affect you in a negative way, it is up to you to recognize it and to get rid of that negative influence. Or it could be a dear friend or someone that you love. If that person that you love or that friend that is in your life is not affecting you in a negative way, okay? But when you're moving down a different path, sometimes you might just have to distance yourself. Sometimes there are some people you'll come to in your life that they mean you no good at all. They mean you no good. Those people that directly mean you no good, what you got to do with them is, man, you got to, man. Now, sometimes those people can be hard to distance from. And I'll tell you that because if you like me, I have a heart to want to help people. That's something I've always struggled with. I have a heart to help people. And since I have a heart to want to help people, sometimes I tend to keep people around me that mean no good. Now, I've done better. I've done a heck of a lot better. As I use the phrase, as I've gotten older. As I've gotten older, I have gotten way better at filtering out those positive and negative attributes within people. And people, you're not going to get it right all the time, but it's okay to allow people to have limited access. Always remember that. It's okay to have some people that it's okay to allow people to have limited access. It is okay for that. Because we have to remember, people, just because we're limiting the access doesn't mean that we completely closed off to people. You know, now let's flip this around because you have a responsibility to be a positive or a negative influence on somebody. You have a responsibility to recognize what type of influence you are in somebody else's life. So have you ever asked yourself this question? Am I a positive role model? Am I a positive leader? Am I a positive person or am I a negative person? Now, let me clear this up. When I say positive or negative person, I know where the mind will go. The mind will just run the heck off with people. Oh my God, Jesus, it will just run off with people. So I have to clarify what I mean by that. I'm not saying that you're a person that always thinks negative, or you could be a person that always thinks negative. I'm not you, so I can't assess that. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to ask yourself, do I let things of negativity tend to stay in my mind, or am I filling myself with those things that are more positive? So with me being that influence, what am I now telling people? Am I telling people that, hey, I'm going through something, but you know what? I'm going to just wild out, act a fool, and do whatever. I have definitely been there where I have been a negative influence to the people that were around me because I chose to move based on the emotions that I was feeling about the situation. Because that is an internal feeling that I had. I had an internal feeling of negativity. So that internal feeling of negativity spewed out to my people. So now what am I doing? People, I chose violence. I chose violence and toxicity. And look, man, I can easily admit that because I've been there before. And I know each and every person has been there in their lives before too. You know, a lot of times we just have to be real with self and understand that we all have a level of, I'll say it, toxicity. And this is kind of like what I was talking about with Reggie when he came on the show. You know, Reggie said he believes that women are a little more toxic than men, just a little bit. He didn't say a lot. He said a little bit. And men have some toxicity in this too. But the point I'm trying to make is that we all have a little bit of something in us. And we all have had some type of influence, positive or negative, on the people that were around us. All right, y'all. Listen, we are half past the hour, man. Oh, man, time just goes by fast, doesn't it? So we're half past the hour. I am going to remind you where we're at and what you're listening to. So we will be right back after this quick break. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online Radio Box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay, Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. All right, people, and we are back, like I said, in the intro that was in the middle of this. The show today. That's how I do. We play the intro for the outro for the intro. We played at the middle to remind you where we at, people. But I'm going to let you know, you are tuning in to Biggs Radio Monday Night Motivation, people. Y'all know it's me, your boy, Life Coach Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show from 5 to 6 p.m. And then we have Julian St. Chris for Mixtape Monday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we also have the illustrious, our leader, the queen. We have Miss Dinah Lynn Biggs of the Dinah Lynn Biggs Show from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So definitely, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this is where we're at. This is where we are going to be. Now, listen, I want to tell you, if you all also want to inquire about any ad space or music drops, because I do talk radio, but we do have other people who do music also. Go ahead and call the station at 773-462-4447. And we could go ahead and take care of those needs for you as far as your music or any ad or commercial drops that you might have. Definitely, because we want to go ahead and promote you, people. We want to go ahead and promote you in the best way possible. And Biggs Radio Network can do that for you. And once again, that is Chicago, Pasadena, California, Indianapolis, and also Atlanta, Georgia. So we want to make sure this is a national radio station, people, national radio network with the national radio stations, plural with an S. And we want to make sure that we are highlighting you in the best way possible. And please check out www.biggsradio.com. We have everything that you need to know about Biggs Radio Chicago, Pasadena, California, Indianapolis, Atlanta. Come on, man, in Chicago. So y'all go ahead, check out www.biggsradio.com and see what's going on with us. And like I said, you are back here on the Jeff Releford Show, people. Come on now. And we're also, I got to say it again because I'm going through the whole thing, people. We are here at the Vibe Studios. This is something that me and my people have done and created. We are people that can create. So guess what? It consists of Ron Reed of the VNO, Views and Opinions Podcast, myself, Mr. Redirect, Regroup, Refocus himself, Jeff Releford, who is Smooch Wallace. If you don't know him, you better get to know him. And Mary Selena K of Rock Truth Radio. People, we are the Vibe. And we are here at the Vibe Studios. So we'll help you with your production needs as far if you need to be visually seen on the radio. Okay, visually seen on the radio or visually seen for your podcast. We have a setup here that we can really help you out with. So y'all hit us up and we'll see what we can do with you. All right, everybody. I had to put in that plug again. Y'all know, man. Come on, man. When you got something going on, you got to let the people know. We're doing great things here on Biggs Radio. And shout out to the team. Come on, I can't forget that. Shout out to the whole team that makes up Biggs Radio Network. Everybody is doing everything they can to make sure we push artists, make sure that everybody stays marketable, everybody making sure that everybody stays on a high level, man, because that's what it takes. In order to do this and to stay relevant, you have to be at a high level. And I can honestly say that they are doing that for us. So shout out to Miss Donna Lynn Biggs and everybody who falls under her as far as the team goes. You know, there are no big eyes, no little U's, baby. Everybody out here getting it. We putting in the work. So once again, it leads to the topic, people putting in work. Come on, everybody. What types of influences do you have around you, and how do they affect you? For the first half of the show, everybody, we were talking about the positive influences and the things that you have to keep around you. And now we are focusing on the things that you must keep away from you, the negative influences. And I just simply spit it like this, everybody. Those negative influences that are around you. Come on. Who do you really want to have a life of chaos in the mind? I know some of these words might be a bit triggering for some of y'all, because when I say chaos of the mind, you be like, man, I ain't crazy. I ain't really thinking bad. Like, what you mean? What I mean by chaos of the mind is anything that just takes you away from that peace. That's what confusion is. Confusion is the opposite of peace. So anything that tends to take you away from that peace, okay? Anything that tends to take you away from that peace. I got some in my eye. Oh, God. Oh, no. Eye down, people. Eye down. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, I think we're good now. I think I got it out. But anything that takes you away from that peace, anything that takes you away from that peace, man, come on. It's not a good thing. Y'all have been also listening to what has been going on in the media lately with a certain entertainer. The name shall remain nameless. Y'all know who it is. If y'all put it in the comments, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. I ain't gonna say no word. I ain't gonna say nothing. Let me look in the camera. I ain't saying no names. But y'all, I know y'all have been paying attention. And, don't y'all tend to think that maybe if some celebrities, entertainers alike, if they would have kept those positive influences around them, because, fame can cloud judgment. I strongly believe fame can cloud the judgment of your mindset if you are not careful. We've had a number of entertainers come out this year and expose some things and say some things that actually make us look a little bit at the world of entertainment a little bit more. I personally have some people that I've talked to that are in entertainment, that are movers and shakers, and we've talked about these things, and it's just like, could that side of the business actually be true? Now, I'm not here to sit up here and talk about all the stories, but I will tell you this. There are a lot of people faced with opportunities, and there are a lot of people who get opportunities either taken away from them or maximized, all because of actions that they do. And I'm going to leave it at that. Because I feel that we need to be aware of, there's a dark side to everything. This is why we're talking about the negative part of the influences, the things that you should keep away. We have to remember, people, for every good thing, there's opposite of bad, right? For every good thing, there's opposite of bad. For every positive, what do they teach you? They teach you positive and negative. When you look at electrons, what do they teach you about electricity? You have a positive charge and a negative charge. Now it's insane, because the fact of the matter is that in order for current to run, you need to have both a positive and a negative, a hot and a neutral. And I can say those things, people, because I used to do electrical work as well. So, you have to have, in order to complete a circuit and have electrical current, you have to have positive and neutral. They have to work together. Okay? They have to work together. But you always need a positive charge in order to keep everything going and moving. A negative charge does not move anything. A negative charge doesn't move. Positivity. You got to have a plus and a minus, a hot and a cold, a neutral, a hot. So that's what you need. That's how the law works, people. That's how it works. So, for every positive, there's a negative, and they both work in tandem in the mind. I'll say that they both work in tandem in the mind with things that you think about. If you're going to go ahead, if you want to go ahead and have reasoning, you have to have reasoning first. Something might happen in negativity. Something might happen that can be an unfavorable situation for you. But then it is up to you with that negative that you had. You have to positively charge that and positively get that moving in the right direction for you. There's something called current in electricity. Current or flow. That is the direction in which electricity moves. If you do not have positive charge, it won't flow. Can't have one without the other. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is, people, if you remove the negative things out of your life and you replace them with positivity, negative will keep you stagnant. Negative will always keep you stagnant. What did I just say? Current and flow cannot move unless you have a positive charge connected. If any of you all ever look into some wiring at your house, I'm not saying go ahead and blow yourself up, people. I ain't saying that. If you don't know electricity, don't deal with it. Go ahead and watch a YouTube video. There it is. Go ahead and watch a YouTube video about electricity. I don't need nobody getting zapped out here. I get it. You know, there are some people that are very curious, but go ahead and just watch a YouTube video about how all of that works. As soon as you disconnect a hot wire to a circuit, what have you done? You've opened up the circuit. So nothing can flow, nothing can move. As soon as I disconnect a wire for any lights that may be here, if I cut power, what do? You cut it because what you've done is you've interrupted the circuit. You can cut the wire, a hot wire. You can cut that wire, but if you don't connect it, it's not going to flow. So I'm just saying, recognize, people. Recognize the positive and negative charges that are in your life. Recognize those things that you either need to keep in your life or remove. Because at the end of the day, I used to say this all the time, you can't blame mama and daddy. You can't blame nobody else but you. Can't blame nobody else but you, man, for the outcome, for the different situations that come on in your life. And what I mean by the outcome is not the physical outcome. Because sometimes there are forces in our life that we cannot control physical outcomes. If somebody chooses to run me off the road, I can't control the fact that I could have just knocked on their windows and, hey, dog, hey, man, don't run me off the road. No, they did something and they ran me off the road. What I'm saying is what you have control over is your perspective afterwards. Or your perspective during a time where you should be making a judgment call or an assessment to see how you would like to move further. Come on, people. Like I said, this is about thinking differently. This is all about thinking differently. So if you're going to think differently, whenever somebody gives you advice about something, let's not always jump to the negative part. The mind will always want to hop to the negative part. Always. It never fails. You literally have to program yourself to think good every day. You have to. You have to. So how do you start that process? What you do is you remove the negativity. You remove the things that can cause pain, struggle, strife, turmoil, confusion out of your life. That's not to say that that's not to say you're not going to have days that aren't good for you. Because honestly, people, we all have bad days. Go through your bad days. It's okay to go through your bad days. Okay? It's okay to go through the bad days. It happens to each and every one of us. It happens to the best of us. But you have to assess the things that are around you to make it easier for you, for yourself to pull yourself up out of the mud, right? And influences can highly and greatly affect that. They really can. So it's just up to us to pay attention to all that. If we pay attention to that, we do a good job at it, we harness it. This also takes time. Influences, looking at people that are around you and paying attention to see if they're positive or negative. Takes time for those things when you really start paying attention to it. Because like I said, That doesn't mean life is going to be easier for you. That doesn't mean life is going to be easier. You have to remember you got to walk through each and every issue, task. It could be easy or it could be a struggle, because we have a tendency to say, oh, you got to go through the struggle. A lot of times you don't have to go through the struggle. What you have to do is you just have to take the good out of a bad situation. So I don't care how you talk about it. I choose to not characterize it as a struggle. I'm one that has a tendency not to embrace the struggle. We, especially in Black culture. Let me fill y'all in on some stuff here. I'm about to sit up as I talk about this. Let me fill y'all in on this, and I'm gonna look greatly into the camera. And if you are listening to me on the other end, please tune into what I am saying now. As a culture of people, I'm an African American man. I'm Black. There are times when we tend to embrace a struggle culture. Okay. You can't tell yourself that you're not worthy of good when you are worthy of good. You can't tell yourself that you're not worthy of blessings when you actually, in fact, are worthy of blessings. But for some reason, we embrace a struggle culture. We embrace a culture in which we say that, oh, we shouldn't have the things that we have. We're not worthy of the good. Yes, you are. You are worthy of the good. You always have to remember that you are worthy of the good. So what I challenge my African American people, my Black people to do, my family, my people, everybody who is around, and even if you are not Black, African American, I don't care if you're Asian, white, Hispanic, German, Caucasian, because there's a difference from Caucasians, Caucasus Mountains, all that other stuff like that. I don't care what you are in this world. Always embrace the positive aspect of life. Always. Telling y'all people, that's what's going to get you through. I don't say these things to make you think about your negative, but I will tell you, in order to think positive, you do have to surface up some of those negative things. So when you're looking at the influences that are around you, challenge yourself. Come on, challenge yourself, man. Challenge yourself. Just challenge yourself. And I know it's hard. I say this all the time, people. I know it is hard. I know it is a challenge. I know it's a challenge to find good in certain areas and in people and in situations. But you have to make a choice. Are you going to continue to have negative influences around you? People that, they're fun to be around. And remember, you can limit the fun that you're around. You don't necessarily have to get rid of them. You don't have to do that unless people are being detrimental. Something is going on, unless it just falls that way. You don't have to be that way. You don't have to just say, oh, I'm cutting you out, I'm done. Nah, you don't do that unless something has happened for real and you are ready to make a shift and a change. So you have to be ready to make that shift and change. I made that shift and change. I talk about it all the time. I say it because I just want to let y'all know that it's okay to change your atmosphere and to change the people you're around. I chose to have more positive, excuse me, everybody. I chose to have more positive influences around me, not people who will focus and dwell on the past, but look at the future. Look at the future. Know that you have a bright future ahead of you. Really, real talk. You have to understand and know that you have a bright future ahead of you. And with that bright future that's ahead of you, you have to go ahead and sift through the people that are there too. Everybody can't come with you on the journey. Sometimes you'll have your core, and I'm gonna say this: you'll have your core friends. I have my core friends that I know I can rely and depend on. But I will tell you this: I'm not. I was before, and I guess you put this in a perspective when you actually do it. When you have to let go of people that you do love and you have put a level of trust in, when you let people go on that, it's never ill will or intent. You have to remember that it's okay to let people go that aren't necessarily going in the same direction as you are. It's okay. You might be looking at it after this episode or while this is going on. You might have asked yourself the question, what people do I have around me? Is somebody around me affecting me in a negative way? Are they affecting me in a positive way where I should really, truly keep them around because they're a benefit to me, not to use them, but they're a benefit to me because it's going to help me with my peace. I'm choosing today to keep nothing but positive around me. I'm choosing today to continue to have a great influence or influences around me through people, through content that I watch. All that whole nine yards, everybody. You have to be willing to ask yourself the question today. Am I going to keep positive people around me or negative people around me? What type of influence do I have? And if I have a positive influence around me, how does that affect me? Break it down. Maybe you've never asked yourself that question before. And also ask yourself, if I have negative influences around me, how do they affect me also? Man, I'm telling you, man, it's always good when you can provoke the mind a little bit. And, we're sitting pretty good on time here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a break. How about that? I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a break. And what we'll do is we just go in slightly early today. Or if you want me to go on for another hour, we could do that. Nah, people, we can't do that. My show is only an hour long. We can't do that. As much as I would love to stay here and chat with you all, watch the comments that are going through for my people who are listening. And also I have to let y'all know this, people, we are streaming through Facebook, Instagram. Oh, not Instagram. I'm sorry. Facebook, LinkedIn, and also YouTube. Y'all go ahead, follow my YouTube page, people, the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus YouTube channel. That has all my content on there. Every time when I go live and I'm a part of a show or anything of that nature, you can find all my content on there. I also go live on my Redirect, Regroup, Refocus Facebook page, as well as my personal page on my Facebook as well. So you can find me on those outlets. I also have a TikTok. I have a Instagram. The Instagram is Life Coach Jeff Releford, and also none other than Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Instagram. So you all follow me on those platforms. And also, like I said, that TikTok. I have a TikTok as well. I'm getting better at uploading some of the content. The followers are always growing on TikTok because I love how TikTok always has informational content and everybody looks up the informational content. But yes. So taking inventory today, people. Look at what's good. Weed out the bad and keep the good in. So, all right, y'all. You know what we gonna do. We are about to play. Like I always said, we're gonna play the intro for the outro and the outro for the intro. And we play it in the middle just to let you know where we at. But we are Biggs Radio Chicago, voice of a new generation. And you have tuned in to the Jeff Releford Show. And hey, guess what? Redirect, I can't even say my own moniker. You see that? I was flowing real good. And then something just tapped into the brain and I got screwed up. I say this all the time. But remember, y'all, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online Radio Box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way, you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay, Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago.